Hi everyone. Book summary: The Millionaire Fastlane, Crack the Code to Wealth and Live Rich for a Lifetime. By MJ DeMarco. Let's enjoy the video. Please subscribing to my channel for more great content like this. You'll be notified when I upload new videos. The Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco is a book and international best-selling that challenges conventional wisdom on wealth building. It presents a new mindset, arguing that selling your time for money is a mistake. 1. Wealth definition: DeMarco redefines wealth as not just having money, but also meaningful relationships, good health, and freedom. Example: wealth includes being able to live where you want, eat what you want, travel when you want, and pursue your hobbies, even if they're really expensive. 2. Fastlane concept: the fastlane is a state of wealth characterized by abundance. In the fastlane, you don't trade your time for money and are in complete control of all the wealth-generating factors. Example: the fastlane lifestyle is for people who want to retire young and don't want to follow the conventional get-rich roadmap that involves maxing the 401k, being frugal, and retiring at 652. 3. Intuition and inner wisdom: DeMarco suggests that most of the time, we already know deep down what to do in any specific situation. This is often referred to as your gut feeling, intuition, or inner wisdom. Example: if we want to lose weight, most of us know exactly what we need to do. The formula to losing weight isn't rocket science. 4. Inner GPS: DeMarco describes intuition as a real-time inner GPS that will guide you to where you need to go and what you should do at any moment in time. Example: your intuition will always lead you to where you need to go and what you should do at any moment in time. 5. Avoid looking externally for answers: DeMarco advises against looking externally for confirmation on what you know to be true for you. Instead, follow your intuition, your gut feeling, your inner wisdom, and the universe/God. Example: if you try to look outside for confirmation on what you know to be true for you, you'll almost always get backlash and differing opinions on what next steps you should take. Introduction: discover how to get rich now so you can retire young and enjoy it. Imagine you're going about some regular activity of your daily life like running errands, and suddenly, a spectacular sight shakes you right out of your ho-hum existence. It's the exotic sports car of your dreams, the exact one you had posters of as a teenager, or maybe even as an adult. Out steps a person who appears very young and doesn't look that much different from you, except the obvious, which is that they're holding the keys to that machine. If you're bold like the author MJ DeMarco was in this situation, you might ask what the person does for a living to afford that car. And you may get an answer that's equally surprising. In his case, the guy driving the dream car said he was an inventor. Despite not recognizing the driver as a celebrity, he still expected to hear something like actor, musician, athlete, or even lottery winner. It opened a world of possibilities DeMarco hadn't considered before. People can and do realize wealth at young ages without becoming famous or through sheer luck. But how? For DeMarco, it took several years of studying young, self-made millionaires, graduating college with 2 business degrees, many failed infomercial buy-ins, living with his mom, and dead-end jobs before he finally snapped out of it. He chose a new city and relocated with only $900 and not much else other than sheer determination to change his trajectory. That decision put him on the path to make millions over the decade that followed. He built and sold a company, twice. Yes, he finally bought his dream machine and many more since. He retired at the age of 33 and not long after wrote an international best-selling book to share his secrets with the world. And here we are. In this summary, we'll hand you the keys to DeMarco's top takeaways, including exploring your current money mentality, why the fastlane approach to wealth is superior to traditional methods, and the principles to follow on your high-speed journey to getting rich and retiring early. First, figure out your money mentality. When it comes to money, there are 3 types of people in the world: sidewalkers, slow laners, and fast laners, as DeMarco calls them. Which one are you? Let's do a quick check. Do you frequently jump jobs for higher pay and spend most of your money as soon as you receive it? Do you rely heavily on your available credit, count on luck, and generally live in the moment? If so, you're a sidewalker. Don't feel too bad, According to DeMarco, this is the most common mentality. And hey, you're probably taking in this information for a reason. Do you have a steady job with a competitive salary and save a considerable amount of your income? Do you avoid debt and risk at almost all costs and look forward to retiring comfortably in your twilight years? In this case, you're a slow laner. Again, no need for shame since it's the second most common mentality and you're probably here for help on that. Do you own your business, reinvest most of your profits in the business and yourself, and calculate risk against potential gain? Do you rarely ask yourself whether you can afford things? Congratulations on being a fast laner, or at least meeting a few of the many characteristics. There still may be more you can learn to further multiply your good fortune. But if you identify with the first two mindsets, as most do, the most important point to remember is that anyone can jump from the sidewalk to the slow lane to the fast lane, or, as DeMarco did, leap from the sidewalk to the fast lane. In fact, an idea gleaned from his last dead-end job actually opened the door to his next opportunity. Before moving away from his mom's to a new city, he was a limo driver and frequently heard customers ask about booking services in other cities. He taught himself how to build a website to answer that need. But he'd been so busy juggling his soul-crushing job and sad existence, he hadn't put much effort into marketing it, much less enhancing it. That changed once he was in a new city with little money and no job. He used what he'd learned to build one-off websites for other people to pay the bills. He considered that to be his side hustle while putting most of his effort into marketing and growing his own online business, taking risks, and continuing to teach himself almost everything along the way. Soon, he had several offers to buy the company and took the highest bid of $1.2 million. When the new owners couldn't sustain its success, he bought it back for $250,000. He then went about rebuilding it to turn huge profits, living very well off it in the meantime. Finally, he sold the company a second time for many millions more than the first sale and retired at the age of 33. Now consider again the questions you were asked earlier and how this fast laner mentality contrasts so dramatically with those of the sidewalker and the slow laner. You should see what it takes to make that leap. Own where you stand now and firmly decide you're willing to make the changes and then do the work to stay the course. If you're a slow laner, you'd probably not take the risk of moving to a new city with little money, no job, or much of a plan. A sidewalker would be more likely to risk the move and hope for the best, but their next step would be to find a decent paying job with no future. Or, they might find a job with a good salary and savings plan, finally graduating to slow laner status. Hooray, they might be thinking, as a fast laner zooms by in their dream car. You should be in that car. Or perhaps you don't really care about a car, specifically. Maybe you want everything that true wealth comprises, which DeMarco defines as family, fitness, and freedom. Some real example. 1.no Right or wrong, DeMarco compares life to a piano with no wrong keys, only keys that sound more or less pleasant depending on the context. Similarly, there are no right or wrong decisions in life, only decisions that lead to more or less pleasant outcomes. Example, just like there are no wrong keys on a piano, there are no wrong decisions in life. It's our thinking that labels decisions as good or bad. 2. Intuition and inner wisdom, the author suggests that most of the time, we already know deep down what to do in any specific situation. This is often referred to as your gut feeling, intuition, or inner wisdom. Example, if we want to lose weight, most of us know exactly what we need to do. The formula to losing weight isn't rocket science. 3. Inner GPS, the author describes intuition as a real-time inner GPS that will guide you to where you need to go and what you should do at any moment in time. Example, your intuition will always lead you to where you need to go and what you should do at any moment in time. 4. Avoid looking externally for answers. The author advises against looking externally for confirmation on what you know to be true for you. Instead, follow your intuition, your gut feeling, your inner wisdom, and the universe/God. Example, if you try to look outside for confirmation on what you know to be true for you, you'll almost always get backlash and differing opinions on what next steps you should take. 5. Fear or self-doubt, the author explains that most of us know what to do, but we are just afraid to do it. The first step is realizing that you already know what to do, you just think you don't because of fear or self-doubt. Example, for anything in life, you most likely already know deep down what to do, but are afraid of doing it or don't believe that you are good enough to do it. 6. The sidewalk. The author introduces the concept of the sidewalk, where sidewalkers consume more than they produce and sacrifice tomorrow's well-being for today's dopamine. Example, sidewalker's equation of wealth is wealth equals income plus debt. 7. The slow lane. The author describes the slow lane, where slow laners work jobs for 40 years and save every penny to retire rich provided they don't die before that. Example, slow laner's equation of wealth is wealth equals income plus stock market compound interest. 8. The fast lane. The author presents the fast lane, where fast laners build a fast lane business that scales and makes them millions in 10 years or less. Example, fast laner's equation is wealth equals number of units sold x profit per unit sold. 9. NECST principles. The author introduces the NECST principles, need, entry, control, scale, time, that a fast lane business rests on. Example, a fast lane business must fulfill a need/solve a problem people are willing to pay for, must take time and skill to set up, must have control, must scale to make a lot of money, and must make you money when you sleep or take holidays. 10. Regret. The author discusses the phenomenon of regret when we knew deep down what we should have done based on our gut feeling, but we ignored it and listened to someone else's advice or opinion. Example, if you ignore your gut feeling and listen to someone else's advice or opinion, you might experience regret. When you do the maths, only the fast lane makes sense. Before mathematical equations, how about playing a game first to keep it light? The author proposes 3 raffle options. Which would you pick? Option 1. You have a 1 in 6 million shot of winning $50 million right now. Option 2. In 40 years, you have a 1 in 6 shot of winning $1 million. Option 3. You have a 1 in 7 shot of winning $15 million in 6 years. Look at the odds. Look at the time. Look at the money. Hopefully, you've chosen the third option, which is the fast lane approach. The first represents a sidewalker who has no savings strategy at all. Sure, a chance stroke of luck could unlock a windfall, but it's not at all likely. The second option represents a slow laner who carefully saves and invests relatively small amounts of money hoping market stability and compound interest will serve them well by the time they're old. You've probably noticed the odds of people who don't win the millionaire game at all, so if you've got the determination to go for it, why wouldn't you opt for substantially more money in dramatically less time? Now for the math. Each money mentality has what DeMarco calls wealth equations based upon their inherent beliefs about money. A sidewalker operates by the equation of wealth equals income plus debt. That means they use both their income and available credit to pay for what they perceive to be a wealthy lifestyle while increasing their liability to cover all the bills. So this equation trends toward poverty. A slow laner follows the equation of wealth equals job plus market investments, which breaks down to wealth equals hourly wage or salary plus compound interest. While they have a slight edge over the sidewalker by actually investing or saving instead of piling up debt, their income variable is just as limited as the sidewalkers, and that's because time is limited and is our most precious asset. There are only so many hours you can work, and even at a high hourly wage or salary, you're still trading your time, your freedom, for it. Compound interest can work, but it also takes a long time. Meanwhile, you can't control market stability to ensure your investments perform as hoped. You also can't guarantee you'll keep the high-paying job. Then what? DeMarco asserts that the only way to eliminate these issues is to create your own wealth with a business, and not just any old business. The fast lane equation goes like this: wealth equals net profit plus asset value. The net profit figure comes from the number of things you sell multiplied by the profit you make from each. To get asset value, take that net profit number and multiply it by your industry multiple, which is similar to price-to-earnings ratios calculated for publicly traded companies. In a nutshell, it's what potential buyers would be willing to pay for your company, which is often several times more than your net profit. Hopefully, you can see in this equation, unlike the other two, you can have unlimited control of what you sell, how many you sell, and your price. Your controlled net profit then impacts the valuation of your company, and you can even control your multiplier by the industry you choose. In the next section, we'll look at how to refine those choices to ensure your business is capable of delivering massive wealth with the Fastlane equation. Some real example from the book. Mindset of the Entrepreneur. The author discusses the mindset of the entrepreneur, emphasizing that there is no event without the process. Example: the pursuit of wealth stalls when we focus on the destination and not on the journey. Financial roadmap. DeMarco introduces the concept of a financial roadmap, which is the guiding force behind your actions, beliefs, and convictions about money. Example: to change your financial situation, you will need to change your financial roadmap. The journey to wealth. The author explains that the journey to wealth involves a sequence of decisions made under the same strategy. Example: millionaires are forged by process and the sequence of decisions made under the same strategy. Trust the process. DeMarco emphasizes the importance of trusting the process and focusing on the journey rather than the destination. Example: as always, trust and focus on the process. The role of the ego. The author discusses the role of the ego in the journey to wealth, explaining that the ego often tries to regain control when threatened. Example: a natural consequence is that once the personal ego is threatened, it will do everything in its power to regain control over your life again. Channeling energy. DeMarco talks about channeling the newfound energy into our goals of inspiration. Example: what we can do in this case is to channel the newfound energy into our goals of inspiration. Goals of inspiration. The author advises creating goals out of inspiration rather than desperation. Example: for this to work, make sure that you've spent some time creating your goals out of inspiration. Activation ritual. An activation ritual, or a morning routine, can help build momentum in a positive direction and make it easier to stay in a state of non-thinking throughout the day. Example: an object in motion will stay in motion. I never understood why spiritual masters and all great leaders have a morning routine until I understood the power of non-thinking and momentum. Negative emotions. The author explains that negative emotions are an indication of misunderstanding and are caused by our thinking. Example: negative emotions are an indication of misunderstanding. When we are gripped by negative emotions, it means that we believe what we are thinking. Fear or self-doubt. The author explains that most of us know what to do, but we are just afraid to do it. Example: the truth is most of us know what to do, but we are just afraid to do it. Follow these 5 guidelines to start your Fastlane business. Say you've poured all of your money into purchasing a franchise and you're not turning enough of a profit to hire any help. You're stuck working as the sole employee, working more hours than you did for someone else. Worse, those hours are spent just keeping it running with no time or resources to increase marketing efforts or otherwise improve your financial projections. It would feel like any other job, and probably far worse. As we mentioned earlier, the Fastlane equation won't work for just any business. To further explain this, DeMarco asserts the law of effect ion, which means you must produce something that brings value to millions of people if you want to bring in millions in financial rewards. To steer you in the right direction, DeMarco proposes 5 commandments to guide your business. These are control, entry, need, time, and scale, or sense for short. Let's look at each and what to consider with your business. The commandment of control asserts that you establish and maintain complete authority over all aspects of your business. If the business model doesn't allow that, such as with affiliate programs and network marketing, you may make impressive money but not amass the wealth of the people who control those companies. The commandment of entry asks that you consider how easy or difficult it is for you or anyone else to enter the industry. In this case, you want it to be somewhat difficult. Too much competition creates a lot of noise and erodes potential profits, issues that can be overcome if you can truly differentiate yourself enough to claim and sustain your stake. The commandment of need demands that you set aside your ego and consider who you're going to serve and how. That's because for a business to succeed, it has to solve problems or otherwise meet a real need for other people. The commandment of time addresses the story at the start of this section. It requires you to consider the likelihood of your being able to step away and allow automation or other people to effectively run the business for you. Also, consider the timeline for when that can happen. Creating a job for yourself is one thing, but creating wealth that sets you free to spend time with family or doing literally anything else you want. That's the goal. The commandment of scale underscores the importance of thinking big about where your potential customers can be reached and making sure it aligns with your financial goal. If you want unlimited fast lane money, you aren't likely to make it happen if you're limited geographically. Remember DeMarco's last job with the limo company? He was offered the chance to buy it with no money up front, but he'd already begun formulating his plan to move. More importantly, his other fledgling business met all of the commandments, and the limo company didn't. These days he has the option to take one himself or drive a sports car of choice, in the fast lane, of course. Here are some real-world examples of fast lane businesses. 1. Amazon, a distribution system that leverages the internet to sell products. 2. Microsoft, a software system that created operating systems and productivity software. 3. Real estate investment trusts, REITs, a rental system that allows investors to profit from real estate without having to buy properties. 4. Blogging platforms like Medium, a content system that allows writers to reach millions of readers. 5. Franchise businesses like McDonald's, a distribution system that allows business owners to leverage a proven business model. 6. Software as a service, SaaS, companies like Salesforce, a software system that provides services to businesses. 7. Publishing companies, a content system that allows authors to reach a wide audience. 8. Network marketing companies like Amway, a distribution system that leverages personal networks for product sales. 9. Fitness and health companies like Peloton, a human resource system that leverages trainers and technology to deliver fitness classes. 10. Tech startups like Uber, a software system that leverages technology to provide a service. Remember, the key to fast lane success is to create and control a system that can scale and generate wealth independent of your time. This allows you to impact millions and make millions. Conclusion. In order to unlock your greatest wealth opportunities at the highest speeds possible, you need to shift your money mindset and take action. You now know about the 3 money mentalities: the sidewalker, the slow laner, and the fast laner. You also understand the beliefs and habits that push the sidewalker toward poverty, the slow laner toward meager and, well, slow results, usually too late in life to enjoy them, and how the fast laner approach can deliver norm-defying, explosive wealth. You also learned about the math that drives each group, the obvious flaws in the sidewalker equation, the less obvious restrictions in the slow lane equation, and the unlimited potential within the fast lane equation. When it comes to your own business success, remember the 5 principles represented by the acronym SENSE: control, entry, need, time, and scale. These are the surefire ways, DeMarco says, to choose the best business opportunities to align with your fast lane financial goals, especially if you want to get rich quick, retire, and thrive in the lifestyle that affords. DeMarco emphasizes the importance of execution in the wealth building process. He likens strategizing your business to a game of chess, where execution is the king and marketing is the queen. Customer service, he suggests, is the bishop. The key is to focus on building brands, not just businesses. This means creating a unique identity and value proposition that sets your business apart from others. Here are some real-world examples of accelerating wealth. 1. High-leverage activities. Focus on tasks that have the highest potential to generate income and outsource the rest. 2. Diversify income streams. Explore different avenues such as investing in stocks, real estate, or offering freelance services. 3. Live beneath your means. Spend less than you earn to accumulate wealth over time. 4. Invest in real estate. Buying properties and renting them out can generate a steady stream of income. 5. Turn passions into online business. Use your skills and interests to create an online business. 6. Leverage offset mortgages with stoozing. Use the difference between interest rates to your advantage. 7. Build a collaborative business model. Work with others to achieve common business goals. 8. Pursue passionate side hustles. Start a side business that you're passionate about. 9. Specialize in in-demand niches. Find a niche market with high demand and low competition. 10. Invest earnings in business ventures. Reinvest your profits into new business opportunities. The end. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like and share. See you in next videos.